because I think tunnels have a lot of opportunity for alleviating traffic in cities.
What has the Boring Company been up to these past few months? Let's start with some good news for the Boring Vegas Loop Expansion Company. While Tesla, SpaceX, and the website formerly known as Twitter continue to receive the majority of attention in the Elon Musk universe, the Boring Company has been soldiering on, pardon the pun. We now have evidence to suggest that the Boring Company has made new technological updates in tunneling that could change their fortunes. They have updated plans of what they want to achieve. Its application for an expansion to the Las Vegas tunnel network received unanimous approval from the local city council. This gives the company the green light to go ahead with its plan to build an underground network totaling 68 meters of tunnels and 81 stations. While the initial phase centers around the downtown core of Las Vegas, a vast majority of the extension will also connect areas further out, potentially making it a true transit system for the citizens of Las Vegas, and not just a tourist attraction. The only portion of the Vegas Loop currently in operation are 3 stations around the Las Vegas Convention Center, connecting 3 exhibition halls plus 1 connector tunnel out to the nearby resort's World Hotel. The Convention Center Loop seems to be where the Boring Company is ironing out all the nitty details to make the system work as smoothly as possible. It has been operational for over 2 years now and has transported over 1.2 million passengers during that time, hitting a peak daily capacity of 32,000 riders, which is quite impressive. An offshoot from the Convention Center Loop to Resorts World opened in the summer of 2022, and there are currently plans to connect to the Encore Luxury Resort and Westgate Hotel. The Encore Tunnel is expected to open in early 2024, and it will take only 1 minute to travel through the 23-25-foot tunnel from the resort to the Convention Center's Central Hall once all 3 offshoots are operational. With the 2 machines in the ground for the past few months, the work is well underway. The current plan is for the entire Las Vegas system to be built out in phases and then connected to create a seamless transit loop from the South Strip to the downtown core, while individual properties will pay for their stations. The Boring Company plans to add 1 more return tunnel for each of the new stations to allow for simultaneous trips between the convention center and the resorts. The tunnel system will be constructed by the Boring Company at its own cost. The Tropicana section, which will house the University of Nevada and the Allen Stadium resorts along Las Vegas Boulevard and Tropicana Avenue, is anticipated to be the first to be built beneath the Strip. Richard Redlick. Warren Redlick, an investor, is one person who has a strong belief in the company's success. He says that the Boring Company could reach a valuation of $1 trillion as soon as 2030 and go public by 2028. He projects the company will have over 10,000 meters of tunnels by that time, and then jump to over 100,000 mil in another 5 years. If the Las Vegas project proves successful, the Boring Company could potentially revolutionize urban transit as we know it and make Elon Musk even more absurdly wealthy than he already is. Why are we paying attention to an investor's posts on X? Well, it turns out that Elon Musk agrees with Redlick, who responded directly to the post, stating that it is actually possible from a technological standpoint. Elon then went on to say that the biggest obstacle is getting permits for all the work the company needs to do. That construction is practically illegal in North America or the EU. Redlick's belief stems from the advancements made in the Proof rock tunnel boring machine that is capable of digging a 1M tunnel in a week, with a 3rd-generation machine in prototype stage that aims to dig 7 miles a day. It's conceivable, but maybe not so soon, as we already know Elon can fulfill his technological pledges. The timeline is usually way too optimistic, but hey, we're here for it. Proof Rock 3. The Proof Rock 3 that we just mentioned is actually going to come to pass, so the Boring Company needs a much faster and more efficient tunneling machine. On August 18, 2023, the company posted that testing of their latest generation tunneling machine, the Proof Rock 3, had begun. Its current goal is to target full continuous mining, where the machine never stops, and a sub-24-hour launch time, which is half of the Proof Rock 2. This will result in a massive reduction in downtime by running the machine 24/7 and push it closer to the larger goal of hitting that 7 meters a day, as if on key recent footage from the Texas facility had revealed a new ideas. The Boring Company appears to be switching to hexagonal segments for the tunnel lining after moving to the Proof Rock 3, which is a very significant change from their previous practice of using trapezoidal segments. The key to enabling continuous mining is the use of hexagonal segments, which can be assembled piece by piece rather than ring by ring. Additionally, every concrete segment has the same dimensions, which drastically reduces cost and complexity. All of this is fantastic news if the Boring Company plans to build many tunnels at a very fast pace. On the downside, hexagonal segments need to be thicker and stronger because they tend to bear more load than individual trapezoidal segments, and slippage at the joints can occasionally cause water ingress, which can be expensive to remedy. Nevertheless, with the benefits far outweighing the drawbacks, tunneling is clearly the way of the future for environmental issues. Texas is developing rapidly for the Boring Company. Work on the SpaceX and nearby Boring Company properties is ongoing, and the next generation of the tunnel boring machine, the Proof Rock 3, is currently being tested. In addition, an employee housing complex is being planned. Regulators and local residents are concerned about the environmental cost of this rapid development, as the Texas Commission on Environment Quality has already cited the property for multiple violations related to inadequate erosion control. As a computer programmer, Ambrose isn't a hater. He loves the technology that Elon has brought to the world. Ambrose is on the waitlist for the Tesla Cybertruck and is currently a Starlink internet customer. But 2 years after the Boring Company moved in, he still believes that they are ignoring safety and environmental regulations and trying to get away with it. Bastrop County issued another violation over unauthorized wastewater holding tanks, and regulators say they are constantly hounded by staff and consultants to expedite and approve permit applications that are incomplete or not in compliance. We hope that things will improve for the environment and technology now that Texas is turning into a major hub for all of Elon Musk's companies. The Boring Company's current application to build their own wastewater plant to discharge 143,000 gallons of treated water into the Colorado River is still pending approval. Delays in this process are probably caused by the company's repeated violations of the Clean Water Act. The future. Just before we sign off, we discovered something in Texas through a Freedom of Information request that may provide us some idea of what's to come back in September 2021. Youthful capitalist and investor in the Boring Company, Joe Lunsdell called then Mayor Steve Adler of Austin to present a plan to build an underground transit system akin to the one currently in place in Las Vegas. He also sent the mayor a detailed pitch deck and proposed 2 phases for the project. The first would involve a 34-meter tunnel with 8 stations that would connect Q2 Stadium and Austin's International Airport to the downtown core. Phase 2 would include 37 more stations, an additional $278 million to the nearby suburbs. Phase 1 would cost $34 million, while Phase 2 would cost $2.3 billion. To sweeten the pot, and as a proof of concept, London suggested starting really small. He and some of his friends would pay for a $1 million tunnel that would connect their lands and properties around town. This would cost $6 to $7 million, but it could spark interest from the city leadership to move forward with a citywide tunnel system built by the Boring Company in partnership with the city mayor. Adler dutifully passed the proposal onto city staff, but they ultimately chose not to pursue it. Although this occurred a few years ago, we believe it is indicative of the path we might see moving forward with the adoption of the Boring Company's solution to transit and traffic. While government and city officials tend to exercise in relation to this, the Boring Company's project in Las Vegas seems even more important. If it proves to be a resounding success, it might just create a domino effect with everyone racing to get their own transit system at that point. The only obstacle will be whether the Boring Company can bore fast enough. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it. That is so important for getting our content out to more people. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.